social media, NBA can promote whoever they want, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the best players and who the people ask for. It's never like being the face of the league. It's not something. It's something that can be manufactured, but only to some extent. And it's only going to be the best players. So this is what it's all about.
You had said, why do I need to be the face of the league? Y'all have Victor Wembanyama, but we see a world versus USA format here. Why not have a world and USA face of the league?
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I ain't going against that.
All right, so two faces of the league.
Faces is cool with me.
And you're one of them?
If I get there.
Anthony Edwards playing coy right there. But this is a conversation that continues to come up, Vinny. How important is it for there to be a next face of the league in NBA?
It is important. Mm-hmm. And Steve, I want to see where you sit with me on this one.
Okay.
I'm a little disappointed that today's players, that nobody that really fits the bill, that can fit the qualifications, has stepped forward and said, I want to be the guy. The reason Victor answered that question was because I asked that. I was very curious at All-Star if he wanted to be a face of the league. And I thought the answer was good to say, hey, the people pick it, your game has to fit the criteria and everything else. But when we look at the money that the players are bringing in, the max contracts, that's been built off the backs of previous generations, of players who did things that they didn't always want to do, who marketed the league, who deposited into it. Now all these players are doing is withdrawing from that standpoint, not from an everyday standpoint, not from what they dedicate themselves to the game, but just from recognizing that there's something bigger and greater here. And there's so much opportunity to me for today's players if you want to be the next Steph or LeBron in that face, and you can see how it benefits them. I understand, Steve, that a guy like Anthony Edwards doesn't want people in his business. Mm-hmm. I understand that Anthony Edwards is smart enough to realize, hey, I can keep y'all away just long enough that I can take advantage, but I don't have the responsibility of that. My thing is I'm disappointed that not one player has stepped up to say, I want to take the mantle and continue this tradition of Magic and Larry and Michael and Doc and LeBron and Steph. Like, that's a rich tradition, and it's a lot of opportunity there.
Go ahead, Iman. I'll answer it in a second.
I think it was a ... answer for both of them. I think they both ran away from the only thing that me and Danny Green were talking about it earlier. If you don't win, that's the conversation. We're not finna sit here and say, oh, do you want to be the face? That's what Wemby was talking about. That's manufacturing it. Don't ask them, do they want to be the face? You want to go over there and take Shea's trophy? Go take it. That's how you become the face of the NBA. Mike didn't become the face of the NBA just because he looked cool and he got a bald head. He ran up on them dudes in gold, and he took it. So if you want to be the face of the league, go, and he took it. So if you want to be the face of the league, go out here and take a championship when we sitting up here saying we don't know if you could go take one. You go take one, you get in the conversation. You come back the next year, you prove you can go back in there again, we start to conversate about you being part of this league, being one of the faces. That's where Steph started to turn the curve back when we were playing. You started to think this is Steph Curry's league. This might not be LeBron James's league, but it's because you have to hold up the crown. Can you hold up the crown multiple times? Can you make sure that everybody in the playoffs has to change how they play for you? Can you change the game? Then we'll say you're the face of the league. Until then, they're going to keep Jerry West on the logo, and they're going to keep talking about LeBron and all the rest of the guys before. Talk about a package of young guys. But until somebody goes out here and has multiple trophies multiple times, we don't want to hear face of the league.
Several points to bring up here, because I think both of you are right, but both of you are incomplete in what you said. To piggyback off of what just came out your mouth, Iman, when you bring up the logo, MJ should be the logo. Should have been changed years ago. Michael Jordan should be the logo, not Jerry West, God rest his soul, who was a great man, great player, great executive, but Michael Jordan should have been the logo, number one. Number two, when we talk about the face of the league and just winning, Iman, you're not wrong. It's just not incomplete because Shea ain't the face of the league, and Shea's the NBA champion.
No.
He's the reigning NBA champion. He's the reigning league MVP. He's the reigning NBA Finals MVP, and is universally respected and revered, and he is still not the face of the league. It is still LeBron, who ain't been to a championship round since 2020. It is still Steph Curry, who obviously is aging, but is still spectacular, the babyface assassin, because they're four-time champions, okay? You get that part. But there's a responsibility that comes with everything, and that is what we need to be having this conversation about. These brothers that are hesitant to be the face of the league, clearly all of them want to win. Why would you not want to be the face of the league? You know why? Because we live in a very invasive society who's incredibly cruel. And as you got these thumb thugs, that's what I call them, thumb thugs. You understand? They get on their phones or their laptops or their iPads and they want to act like they big and bad, talking smack and shit. Don't got no kind of resume. Don't got no kind of resume. Don't got no kind of credentials or whatsoever. All they want to do is talk about folks, but they ain't done anything, okay? So you have that very pervasive in our society. I'm here to tell you, you can't even blame them. Because when we live in a society where the median salary is anywhere from $65,000 to $75,000 a year, and you can have a subpar YouTube show that's going to get you double that, if not more, then that's a way to make some money. You understand? And that's what a lot of people are thinking about. So even though they thumb thugs, the bottom line is there's a method to their madness in terms of generating revenue for themselves without having to go out in corporate America and answer to somebody working a 9 to 5. These are things that go on. Why is that relevant to the players? Because everybody got something to say. And nobody wants to put themselves in that bubble because they're thinking about what they have to sacrifice as opposed to what they can give. I got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people look at me and say, Stephen A., why would you do this? Why would you do that or whatever? Well, it's because I believe I can make a difference. So if I believe I can make a difference, my mentality is that here's where I'm coming from with it. Doesn't mean I'm going to go all the way where you think I'm going to go or where you want me to go. But the point is I'm going to position myself to make a difference. And whatever heat has to come my way in order for me to facilitate making that difference, I don't mind doing it because I'm thinking about the exponential amount of lives I can affect in a positive way as opposed to what it's going to cost me. Because I'm not worried about how I'm living. My attitude is, I live a good life, but I live a relatively boring life. Keep searching. You ain't going to find out but so much about me because it's but so much I'm doing.
Right.
If you are playing in your 20s, making buku dollars, you understand? Who knows what you're doing? Who knows how you living? When you walk away from the court and you don't want to invite people with this belief that they got a right to be invasive in your life. They don't want that, and I can't knock them for it. It's just that somewhere along the way, here's what's got to happen. You may not invite people into your personal life. I mean, the bottom line is, I ain't going to mention names, but there's an inordinate amount of stars that won that you knew very little about off the court or off the field of play. They guarded their personal life, but you knew on the field or court of play, they were all in on winning. It wasn't enough. When they lost, they didn't walk off the court with a smile on their face. You didn't love Kobe just because he won. Because when he lost, you saw him crying.
Yeah.
You saw him sick to his stomach. Remember when they were supposed to three-peat, they lost to the Spurs, and Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili? You saw Kobe and Shaq on the bench. Shaq looked despondent. Kobe had tears strolling down his face. You remember that. You see LeBron walking off the court for the last time and first go round in Cleveland and pulling off his jersey. You saw the pain. You saw the pain. You see Michael Jordan. You heard the stories of him crying in his father's arms like, when we going to win? Damn, how many opportunities, how many bites at this apple are we going to get? You see all of this. And along the way, they're sending a message. No matter how much you think you care, you don't come close to caring as much as we do about winning. That's how you become the face. You become it not just by winning, but by showing this palpable pain to attach to you when you lose. That's how people gravitate to you. You can't gravitate to somebody in today's game if you losing and you like, hey, I'm about to go to Cabo. I'm about to go to Miami. I mean, money's tight. Money's in the bank. I'm good. See y'all next year. That don't get you the face of a sport. You don't have to let everybody into your personal life. But what you have to do is show, I'm going all out and I don't give a damn how much you care. You ain't nothing compared to how much I care. And I'm the one putting in that work. That is how you achieve being the face of a league.
See, and I feel like those are all valid points. Obviously, you want to be a winner, you want to be a competitor. But, Vinny, I also feel like when you talk about the Steph Currys of the world, when you talk about the LeBrons of the world, there's impact off of the court. There's cultural impact. And I think that maybe a lot of the young players, they look at it as just on the court stuff, right? Like, I got to win a championship and things like that. However, how much do you think cultural impact and off the court stuff impact whether or not you are the face of the league? And it's not something that you could just, somebody crowns you the face of the league. That's something that you just come into. Like a LeBron James, he's had impact in culture and community. Steph Curry, same thing. Little kids want to be Steph Curry. I feel like that's how you become the face of the league, with the impact you have off of the court as well.
And it's box office.
Right.
When you show up to town, you got to bring out your Manx.
Yep.
Not a mink, Stephen A. Your Mank.
Your Mank.
When Kobe would come to Detroit, it could be dead in the middle of the winter. The team could be bad. Kobe might not even be the best player in the league anymore, but people were going to come out to see you play. Not your team. They were going to come to see you. Like, the beauty about the NBA is the jerseys, the intimacy. There's no helmets. There's no face masks. All of those things, to what Stephen is talking about and saying, you know, the emotion that you see, how much you care.
Right.
Stephen A., I talked to a lot of players from previous generations. You know a lot of the same guys.
Yeah.
They're disappointed that what they've built is not being carried upon. The torch isn't being carried. I'll give LeBron this. He was the face of the league the moment he was drafted. When he stepped onto that stage with that white suit and hugged David Stern, we said, you're the guy. The Nike commercials, the impact, the story, things you can't control. Now, maybe in the social media era, things will be different, Stephen A. Maybe it is totally impossible to crown a face of the league because we in everybody's business all the time. Right. We trying to figure out if this your burner account. We doing all this stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Steve, I'm with you. But there is a tradition and a responsibility that I think that today's players are not completely holding up their end of the bargain.
I'll touch on it after.
And that's disappointing.
Go ahead, Amon, and then I'll chime in later.
Yeah, I'm gonna pair what I said earlier. I like what you said, Stephen A., of saying, you know, off the court, you're now getting a lens. And I'm going to take some pressure off of some of the guys in the league right now. There is no better time than for us to look into your life and see some bad blemishes here and there, because don't nobody care. Right. We are desensitized to everything. We've seen it all. I've heard fans say all type of stuff. Oh, you was probably out last night, and this guy probably did this. Oh, they had a game in Miami. They did that. The fans are desensitized. They know what's going on, but they want what you guys are saying. Can we come out here and trust that every game we see you play, you're going to put passion into it? Every time we see you play, if you lose, when you walk away, is there a bad taste in your mouth? If I'm pissed, are you pissed? Fans want to feel that. The league wants to feel that. They want to feel like they're crowning the right guy, and I understand that. I would say you have to pair winning with just somebody that does not care. You have to be flagrant, and you have to be a superstar. It's like you guys said, you have to walk like a superstar. You have to talk like a superstar. You have to do things that are going to seem a little bit flagrant. Because I remember a time when James Harden looked like he was going to turn the corner. And if he would have won in Houston, he damn sure would have did it. But he comes to the arena like a rock star. There's a superstar. He has a max deal, and it looks like he has a max deal. You have to do all of those things if you're going to become the face of the NBA, because it's like you said, you have to make that little kid at home feel like, I want to be that guy. I want to drive that car. I want to wear that outfit. I want to leave the arena like him. I want to do my interviews like him. That's what Kobe gave us. That's what Jordan gave us. That's what LeBron gave us.
You also have to respect the game. You have to respect the game. And so Iman Shumpert comes into the NBA out of Georgia Tech, and even though he could score, he was a defensive wizard. So somebody comes into the game, in today's game, and they act like they don't know who the hell you are. That's a problem. That's a problem. When you bring up LeBron James, he was the face of the league from the time he arrived. No matter what I think about him, I will always have profound respect and reverence for him, not just because of his greatness, but the circumstances under which he achieved that greatness. Because even though he didn't speak all the time, as an historian, clearly he was sensitive to the road that had been paved for him by predecessors, and he conducted himself accordingly. And you have to give credit where credit is due. a 4-time champion, 10 trips to the NBA Finals, 4-time league MVP, incredible basketball ambassador, incredible role model, and all of that stuff. None of us are perfect, and you got relationships that don't end up well and all of that other stuff. That don't take away from the man he is, the great player that he is, the professional that he is, or whatever. Steph Curry might be the epitome, the walking embodiment of the most perfect superstar you may have ever seen. I mean, my God. It's gotten to the point where you might look at Steph Curry and go like this. Well, does the man drink Diet Coke instead of Coke? I mean, what's the vice? What's the vice? Because you can't find nothing. I mean, the dude is just, my God. He's respectful. He's decent. He's a leader. He's one of the greatest players to have ever played the game. He's a 4-time champion. He's a league MVP. The guy is just phenomenal. Yeah. You understand? And never says about. You can't find somebody that says a negative thing about Steph Curry. You can't find them. Lord have mercy. They said negative stuff about Jesus, but not Steph Curry. Let's put it in perspective. My God, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So you see guys like that, right? And most importantly, society rewards them
and trust them.
Because you trust them. Because you can trust LeBron James to be a professional. You can trust Steph Curry to be a professional. You can trust them both to be high-end producers. And so what happens is you look at them and you're like, okay, this is what it is. And what we're seeing today are guys who don't want it, which is what the old guard resents. Because if you don't want it, you don't want what they were forced to deal with, that had to define their greatness. Yeah. You couldn't, Magic and Isaiah and Bird, Dr. J before. Do you have any idea the pressure that was on Dr. J? Yeah. Dr. J wasn't just under pressure to win a championship.
He was under pressure to save a league.
He wasn't just under pressure to save the league. He was under pressure to conduct himself in a fashion that made America want to embrace you in the living room. Yep. He had to be perfection. Otherwise, it would be a smear against the league. And Jordan later. Yeah. They resent the fact that guys don't have to go through this to their degree, and they don't appreciate the road that was paved for them to be in a position at the end of the day. That's your problem.
Yeah, it's a multifaceted conversation that I know we'll be having for months and months to come. All right, coming up, someone here says don't sleep on Kevin Durant taking the Rockets on a run, but not everyone here is buying that. More First Take coming up after the break.